Hello everybody, 8 o'clock on the 9th of May, it's a Friday. I hope you're all looking forward to the weekend. Seems I'm just eating my own teeth. But don't worry, it's just part of getting older. So what are we looking at today? Well, let's just refresh the page, shall we? Look at that, episode 134, the Bar Project, Tower Illustration and Writers Club. I'm hoping we'll have enough time for Writers Club tonight. Most of it is related to Writers Club. Hello Fernicar, welcome to the stream. So glad you could join us. Hello anybody else who's lurking. Whether you're watching live or if you're watching later, there's a link in the description and you can join us on Discord. Don't forget, links in the description. Okay. So there it is. If you want to get in contact, obviously you can email hello@scuffedepoch, visit the website, or find me on Twitter or any of the other multitude of platforms. So what is the Bar Project? Well, since getting Latent Sync 1.5 back up and running, you know, and seeing we were talking about the gated workflows that people were trying to shift, which is basically just WAN or Hunyan or LTX, doesn't really matter which one it is, attached to Latent Sync with a TTS, there are many, and that's basically what they're doing right now. Obviously we've got the companion, WAN companion, which will do interpolation, upscaling and special effects. So I think we can get a superior all-in-one workflow made, but that's not how I do it. For the purpose of efficiency, we would batch the image generation, take the best images, batch those through the video generation, take those best images, yeah, and then choose all of the special effects, upscaling, interpolation, and then the best ones from that process. So there's 3 HIL points for you to go in and curate, and that reduces time, reduces wasted compute, gets you there faster. Okay, so that's number one. So obviously we're looking at a little bit of that. Hello Kirk, welcome to the stream, so glad you could join. So that's number one. So that's sort of explaining where we're at with the sort of general theme. Bar Project. What's the Bar Project? Well, because it's so easy to make a little talking skit, I thought we'd revive the old approach that we had with LTXV. Maybe adapt it for WAN, because like I said, the way I do it, it doesn't matter which video model you use, because it's just a video that gets loaded into the frame sync. So it stops the workflow from being so long and then failing and losing all that. We do video to video, right? So we built video to video modules. So let me just show you a little bit of that before I go on about it. Now, point number 1, the control dataset creation tool. As you can see here, I've already done it. I've used the original dataset for the barman. This is in the bar, there's a barman and there's a woman and they're talking to each other. That's it. Shot, reverse shot, simple format. So, we've been into Midjourney. Okay, we've been into Midjourney, and then we've also, I picked a pack of purple paint. I was testing the lip sync. So if I go back to, what? Where's the rest of it? Hang on. Just a second. Still not the full convo. Where's the chat sat? Don't tell me I did it with... I must have done it. Right. I'm sure I did it. Ah, it's in here. It's in here. It's in here. It's just oblivious naming system. So as you can see, now, guys, what we're about to go through is going to change the way that you... Honestly, this is like a compressed, distilled crash course to creating anything, any concept, any style in record time using the latest techniques, and then doing the bulk of the work on your local GPU, so it's cheap. Now, I do use Midjourney V7 Omni with a fine tune, but there's a reason for that. I think human in the loop is really important, and if you've taken the time to do the yes no choice, it's like a little questionnaire. It says this, like this, or like this, and you say yes or no, right? And it builds up a custom style. That's effectively a style fine-tune. So then when you take your prompts in, it has a level of consistency to it already. And this is the process. So simple, okay? You take the prompt that we're going to generate on a white background. So you basically, every character you have, you get a prompt on white background, and they use the exact same wording to put it in the scenes later, okay? But when it's on the white background, you use that, the best one you see. So remember, we're in Midjourney, so we put our background reference, because remember, we're going to make an LLM give us a prompt, okay? LLM is going to give us a prompt here. We're going to put that in Midjourney with our style reference, and the first good image that we get from this becomes the Omni ref. And then you immediately switch out the prompt with the background, okay? And what that'll do, in fact, what I did was I've been experimenting and going further. I've been upscaling the best image that comes out of this prompt, and then using that as the reference. All this stuff will improve the output, okay? And so as you can see, here's the woman that's being spoken to. And if I have a look here, you can see I've been experimenting with adding the best outputs as srefs as well, to really hammer it home. So we have this very consistent character that's always going to, the images are always going to be like this, or that's the goal, right? And then we're going to put that into WAN, or frame pack, or LTX, doesn't matter which, okay? So that's the plan. This is already training, by the way. Let's see, if I've got it here. No, that's a different thing. Here we go. So you can't see the woman because for some reason I put all male test things in. But that's Epoch 7 already. I've got it downloaded. I think it might even already be in there. Oh wait, that's another one. Oh yeah, that's right. I picked 6. I'm waiting for 8. It's gone a bit weird with the skin. But anyway, like I said, this concept is there's a woman and then there's a barman. And they're talking, so it's shot, reverse shot, okay? Now I've made a control prompt set with this, okay? So before I've even trained the model, I could just go ahead and put the original dataset images into the model for, you know, to test it. Now at the moment I'm having a look here at, I think this is actually LTXV. So I'm going to, you know, go through all of them. I think we'll do LTXV, then we'll do WAN, then we'll go to frame pack last. This is currently targeting 73 frames, which is 3 seconds, and it's 1280 by 736. Do you know what? needs to be longer. Let's see. Can one even do... No, it's not fair. This can do it. We've done up to 10 seconds at 1280 with this one. Right, well, anyway, let's just get it done. What's it doing? I forgot. Ah, crap, that's Sharona. Alright, so we'll change it to B4R. And then we'll just let that cook while we talk about other things. So again, as I say, in here I've literally just taken the prompt which I've generated according to my plan, and I've used my profile Ribnan, which is one of mine. Occasionally switching it from vertical to horizontal, vertical to landscape, you know. But basically this prompt, right, to keep it consistent. Now to save time, I didn't make like a crazy prompt template system, which we will look at, and that does save a lot of token cost, and it's much faster, blah, blah, blah. Alright, so let's have a look at some more of these images so you can see what they're like. I wish you could get rid of this. You can't get rid of this. Can't get rid of this. I don't know why. It doesn't go away. Okay. Escape? Nothing. Okay. Maybe if I go into... No. It's like that forever, guys. Sorry. Surely there's a way to shut that off. Refresh the page. There we go. That does it. So anyway, bit of an oversight there. So right. So this is the woman that's speaking to the barman. Some of these aren't used, you know, like wrong shirt didn't get used, you know. Some close-ups. Those, there you go. There's the first round. See, prompt, first round. Upscale the one I like. Add it to the reference. Done. Almost. And then I've added more of them, until eventually we've got this. Okay. And then obviously the dude went a bit mad. I'll be honest. His skin looks a bit crappy. It looks overtrained as hell. So that didn't work as well, but I got some good pictures of him early on, which are usable. It's like, it was fine here, and then it sort of, but it was stuck in a close-up. So, right, and now we get to talk about Tower. So this is like your early writer's room feature, guys, or writer's club. So these were rejected, unfortunately. I wanted to get some like golem type armor data in the model, but unfortunately these got thrown out to save on the size of the model. And the process is actually really simple. It's the same process exactly as before. So I think I'm actually trying to make backgrounds here. So here's some successfully created backgrounds. No humans. Depiction of tower style. So the way the backgrounds are made is by using a script to extract only the description part of the template from the finished prompts. So we did this last. So just to give a little bit of a flavor to the model when we train it, we add some more detailed backgrounds, and they will get used because each prompt has an example that features this. Okay, so let's see. Oh yeah, these ones were fun. Swirling vortex of dimensional distortion with reality bending and distorting. I really like these. I think I made one of these my background. I like that one especially. Yeah, that one's my background on my laptop now. I like these though. It sort of tried to turn into the Wave, but like for a TV advert. So yeah, some scenes for the characters. Okay. Obviously I've picked out the best ones. I just want to get to one of the actual characters so I can show you how it was put together. These ones are great. I've saved these, obviously. Right, so look at this. Let's take this character here, right? She is a tiefling, apparently. I don't know what apparently this is a tiefling, guys. So yeah, in the story there is a tiefling, and you know me. I took the books and I used LLM to distill the books into per character description files. We'll take a look at them in a minute. And so all of the description is coming from the books as far as the process is concerned, okay? So this one is a tiefling with lavender skin and glowing horns apparently, but I want to show you how it was made, because all of the characters are made in the exact same way. So as you can see, I've done the first prompt, yeah, on white background, and I like this one. I was like, this one looks good. I'm looking for lavender skin, glowing horns, black eyes, you know, that kind of thing. Here, not really. That's not a female for a start. This one here looks a bit too like lizardish. This one here again looks a bit too like masculine. So you end up with this one, don't you? So I use that, I upscale that. Okay, looks great. Upscale it, throw it into the OmniRef, and as you can see, if I just open that up, that's all it has is the OmniRef, right? And then oh crap, it's there forever now. So then what we do is we generate, and what I do is I pick the best one from each round, and then I either do a strong vary or just rerun it, and then we slowly start building them up. Now there's a big difference in this process which I don't normally do, and that is to take the prompt, because this prompt is for training actually. So if I take this prompt, make it as a text file, and I'm captioning as I'm saving. So say if I saved this image, which I didn't because the trousers are wrong, but say if I saved that image, like I can't choose this one either, the colors are too crazy, but say I save one of the images, I'm going to immediately put it into a subfolder and then caption it with this, and I'll just duplicate the text file until I've done all of the images, right? So if it's the same prompt, I'll just use the same prompt. Right now obviously I start on a white, put the white reference in, and then I give it the more advanced prompt, which isn't, you know, not a key art, it is a scene, right? Oh, the scenes are apparently from the book as well, so the LLM did a great job. But essentially what I do now is I just pick like the one that still matches the key art, right? And then again saving and captioning as I'm going along, and it's a bit slower than just saving all the folders and captioning them later, but then you don't have to do it later. So is it really slower? You have a lot of control over that, and you can make sure that you're not making mistakes and stuff, right? So anyway, as I say, once you've got this all captioned up, this was just one of many heroes. So we got Sharona. There we go, Broderick. Here we have Broderick, right? And all of, like I said, this is to illustrate the tower storyline. Anna of the Shadows, simply known as Ada, is one of the Nameless One's companions in Planescape Torment. She is a fameless tiefling, says Fernicar. Interesting. I'm not aware of it, I must admit. But it's actually trying to do a stretching routine, but it was just weird that I don't know. I thought it was a bit confusing. I wasn't trying to train him not in his armor, so it's just a bit confusing. But these are like the upshots. As you can see, we've got all the every character has their own little bit of character art in here, and I've obviously curated it down, and we're training it. So that's what's going on with the tower. But the thing is, how did I actually get there? Now, me being me, I threw it all up into a GitHub for you guys. So if we just take a look at that real quick. So we have the I know I just went past it. I'm just checking that I didn't. So Johnson's narrative buckets, right? So first things first, I downloaded this and I took the tower folder. Inside the tower folder, I said read the characters, and I said read the story supplement for book 1 and 2. It's funny, you'd think, there's no story supplement for book 3 because book 4 hasn't been written. So the state of this is at the end of book 3, I think. Anyway. I had the world here, you got the lore books, we got everything in here that you might potentially need to get your descriptions to be what I would call lore faithful, right? Okay, so we cloned this. First thing was I opened a project, cloned this, and then I made a prompt which, you know, said read all the information and write me a description, 1 MD file per character with the character name. Yeah, That's where we start, right? Okay, so then we get to go and have a look at the illustration engine. So this is the illustration engine. We're going to go big for this one. So there's a lot here, right? And to be honest, it's an efficient prompt generator. And when I say that, what I mean is wall of text. Let's just skip most of it. So it makes captions before you build a data set. In this way, we can create coherent and consistent illustrations for pre-existing narratives by extracting details from the story and using this information to plan out a pristine data set structure promoting ideal alignment. This is permitted by HIL, Human in Loop Design, where a human curator is involved in this process using external tools. The resulting captions are used as both prompts and as training captions to build out the initial concept art dataset. Right? So, I've already covered what it is. So, right, what this does is it actually gives you a full, this is like a full example with everything done. So it's not like a tool that you get out and use. This is, I'm showing you how I used the tool, and the tool is custom for this. Now, you could show this to an AI and swap it out for your stuff, but that's not really the intention of this repo. That's why it says Tower Illustration Engine. Like if I wanted to make a generic one that would work with anything, but I wanted to show you this is the result. Okay, this is the result. So let me just cut the crap. Let's have a look at what was actually written by that prompt output. Now I've told him, give it a tag, prod. That's a 0. So this is the trigger for the character, okay? That's part of the prompt template. I don't want to get into that yet. So every character description goes description, clothing, scene variations. You have a plain background. And we kind of introduced this concept just now because I did a really quick turbo version of it with the bar project. This is much more intense and it matches the level of fidelity done with the Sharona project, but in like 1 day or less, yeah? So you have a plain background, the tower setting, the countryside setting, the tavern setting, and a spotlight scene, which is supposed to be pulled from the book, from the story. So, you know, like a baseball card, you know, the character comes with this one scene, right? And then also character essence, which I didn't ask for, but I got anyway, right? So when it's going to make the prompts for the character description, it gets all this to use, but it doesn't have to read the whole book, and that's important, because if you just said, describe my character, here's the book, the attention just gets lost in the source. But if you extract and distill to this sort of shortcut document, and he can just work with the overview. Much easier. And we've done this for every character. So every character has the same exact thing, right? And that's what has been used with the prompt template. Because as I was saying, the prompt template saves you time and money. Because there's no point in going through every single thing every single time. All it does is introduces variation that you don't want, because you're trying to make it consistent and coherent. You don't want his shirt to change on every page, but then you look in the code and it's actually a different word for shirt, so of course it's different. Or the order of the words is different. All of this sort of stuff matters. So it turns the markdown character description into a standardized image generation prompt. Multi-scene. We get the empty backgrounds so that we can do, it says composite illustrations, which I guess is true, but it's actually so that we've got a clean reference, you know. So when you go to put the character art into like an IP adapter or an Omni reference, you're going to end up with the maximum application to different prompts, because obviously if he's in the jungle and you prompt the city, well, it's still going to have tokens from the background trees in the result. Keeps it clean. Standardizes prompt formatting, consistent style identifier. That part's important. The triggers and everything else, it's all managed. So you don't have to go in and edit them afterwards, because what we did was we've done it more programmatically. Now there are additional things. So first of all, config.json. You want to edit that if you want to change this. Final prompt generator makes the prompts. Prompt harvest list strips it out with no metadata and titles. Background prompt generator only gets the backgrounds and makes them separately. And then it did a fixed line wrapping without asking me. I guess it wasn't happy with the way it was doing return. I don't know. I couldn't even tell the difference, to be honest, but it's there. So then you end up with, well, you actually end up with way more than that. He's kind of lying. Right, so as you can see, these are the 6 main characters. We have Broderick Ironheart, the warrior, Lysandra Vale, the mage, Thimbletack Silverfingers, the halfling rogue, Morganth Bloom, the human healer, Grok Stonefist, the orc mathematician, and Whisper, the tiefling bard warlock. Okay. Now obviously we've used a 4-letter string with numbers for vowels. So we've got our sub-trigger. And that also becomes a tag for the whitelist as well, but we'll get into that for control prompt v2. See, I've been busy. So anyway, step 1, generate, right? So it's going to generate the things. Harvest, list, wrap it up, and you're away. Creating new characters. Here it is. Create the markdown format like this, and it will be passed and work. Update the config to include a new character. So here's an example with Broderick. You already have looked at that though. And that will result with a prompt like this. Depiction of tower style. BROD. See from here. Yeah, see this bit is always the same every time. That bit's determined by which character it is. This bit is actually always the same. Okay, so the character description is always the same. Right up until there. And then performing his elaborate stretching routine inside a character. Yeah, that all changes. So we only actually do AI to variate the bit that changes, and then we use Python to orchestrate the bits that don't. And in that way, the bits that are under control, which is 75% or more of the prompt, are reliably consistent every time. Whereas the bits that you want to change, that would be potentially describing a variation of a scene, you only pay for that part. You only pay for that part, not all of this. Okay. Custom scenes, forget about that. I think there's something else in here. Notes. So these are notes for the LLM, so if he forgets. But this is the plan: that trigger phrase, persona phrase, outfit phrase, scene phrase. So a trigger phrase would be depiction of tower style, character trigger. I've already explained what the character triggers are, BR0D. Persona, and we got tower style, so we're actually training the style at the same time as we're training the characters, and we're training 6 characters at once. Yeah? So persona phrase, character description, outfit phrase, clothing description, and then the scene phrase is broken down as character pose and then background description. The reason we do that is so we can pull the backgrounds out separately. So we've got plates. We can actually generate the same locations consistently without any characters and potentially overlay them in composition, right? So as you can see here, plain white background inside a tower. You see how we're like, I said I want these categories, yeah, vary only that part. So then I only pay to generate this, well actually technically the pose as well. I only pay for that part. Everything else stays identical. So he only has one outfit. The persona has the same outfit every time. It's worded exactly the same every time. Okay. So each character has a single definitive physical description. Each character has one specific outfit. These descriptions remain identical. Only the pose and background descriptions change. This prevents conceptual wandering and maintains consistent visual identity for each character throughout development. Now remember, this is just a key art concept art generator. This isn't even, but you can use this foundational key art model to actually hammer out each character into a separate character model if you want. I want to see if I can still keep them all in one model, because I haven't seen it bleeding yet. I saw a little bit of bleeding where it seemed to make the Broderick character short like the halfling. That would be evidence of bleeding, yeah? So in other words, it can't really tell the difference between one concept and another. But I think I know why that is, and if you look, there's an obvious problem here. Did you spot it? Tower has a conditioning token. Brod does not. Brod barrel. Is it training a barrel or a human? Brod barrel chested human. So if he's not barrel chested, is it still Brod? So what I should have done is I should have said Brod man to give it a high level conditioning token, right? But then say barrel chested, or I should have said male focus. So it'd be Brod man, comma, male focus, right? And then carry on barrel chested with sunburned face. So that's an oversight on my part. I should have put man or woman and then male or female to indicate the character, you know, because at the moment if you type Brod, I mean you're going to get the whole thing, but it's just not barrel chested human. Doesn't, you know, it doesn't necessarily look. Oh, and also orcs don't open pose very well. Orcs don't open pose, they're just a black screen half the time, which is fun. So when I went to make the control prompt set, it was a little bit unstable, but yeah, you can use the depth map anyway, that works fine. Okay, so like I said, that gives me these folders. And as you can see, here we go, it tells me this is what I did. So each character, extract relevant information from Tower Lore Book, characters, story supplement for books 1 and 2, and the world. Okay. So, and then obviously, yeah, we've talked about all that stuff. Let's see if we got some results. Yeah, that's not a good sign, is it? Crashed on pre-process. Did it even make anything? Right, I haven't used this for ages. I'm just going to open up WAN. You know it makes sense. WAN. V30. It's probably that one. Oh, it's been overwritten. You know what, I'm not going to say it because I've already complained about it enough. Let's see if I can find it. Okay, here we go. One video native image prompt V40 special. Whoa. Better be careful with that one. Let's open this one up. Yeah, that's one video. Right, cool. So it's using the i2v 14b 480. Do I really want to use that one? 14b i2v. No. We'll use the WAN 720 6K instead. WAN 2.1 i2v 14b 720p Q6K. Alright, we'll use that one. And then I'm going to be using control prompts V1 because we haven't finished V2. I'm going to do that now. We're slowly getting there, guys. I'm like rampacking the first hour tonight. So, again, control prompts, right? Has a blacklist for the V1. Does sequential or random. Does all that once you've built them. So I'm going to pick RDM bar. And I'm going to say man. Man is blacklist. That means we get woman, right? So we'll get the prompt. We'll get the image. So image to be resize. prompt to probably to a swap. Go for a prompt swap first, because I might want to change it, but then mute it because I'm not right now. And go to a show text so we can actually see what it is. Hook it up like that, because it might be that I want to change, like, yeah, I want to change photo to video. Actually, not the obvious one, right? So photo, video. You see, and then it will just do that for me. Why is that so small? Because it hasn't been used yet. Wait, why have I got a prompt swap here? Ah, yeah, because that's the I'll keep that. It's already filled in. Get rid of that though. Right, that'll do. So let's run this. Oh no, I can't handle it. What do you do? I did this a minute ago. Ah, wait. That shouldn't happen. Let's try it again. I'm just going to go and check the source, because I got a feeling that something is wrong. Something's wrong. That means something broke. We're going to find out what broke. So into custom nodes real quick. A DJ's email. Someone down to the folder. Right. I wonder what it could be. Wait a minute. Why are all the prompts down here and why are they not? What the? They're all the wrong name. Okay, well, lucky for me. Well, let's check. Barman. Yeah. Wrong. Well, lucky for me, there's only 2 types of prompts for each of the characters. So what's happened is the original file names were barman, and then I've downloaded the model after Civet trained it, so they've been renamed to 000, 001, and so on. And so what's ended up happening is now the prompts don't match the thing. And that's because I trained it and downloaded it, and then I got the prompts from somewhere else. Ah! I know how to fix this. It's actually really obvious. I just used the prompts from the Civet dataset, and they will have the right numbers. There it is. Come on. And again. There, these ones. I use these prompts. And that's why, because it's basically what that error means is that I can't find the data. And the reason it can't find the data is because it has to match the prompts with the images. So it doesn't matter if you've got the whole thing. They need to be named the same. There we go, look, see the striping? That confirms it's matching, right? All of this stuff down here is not named right. And I'm not going to waste my time trying to guess, even though it wouldn't have taken long. I try not to put you guys through that kind of thing. But it's an easy oversight, right? The script will still work, but everything has to match. You can see here we've got all different things. Yeah, for that. We have the prompt, we have the we have the canny, we have the depth, we have the mask, we have the open pose. So it's actually a sextuple data set, but it's built specifically for use with control prompt. Okay. So if I just press refresh now, it should figure itself out. It should be able to run it here. No, still broken. Refresh, might have to restart the server. Excuse me. believe that should be it. The only other thing that might be screwing this up, let's see, some of the sizes are different. But that's the only thing I can think of. Still error. Right, okay, let me just, are we even getting anything out of it? No, nothing's coming out. Okay, let's take the blacklist off. Is there man in every single prompt, is there? Must be. Oh yeah, wait. Woman. Crap. Technically the word man is in the word woman. I'm just looking. It doesn't say man anywhere else, does it? Does it say she's talking to a man, maybe? VBR woman. No valid pairs remaining, see? It was even, look, it was even trying to tell me. Wait a minute. Why is there two things here? It's weird. Anyway. Right, it's making the thing. Why do errors feel like ancient riddles? Yeah, I know, yeah. Totally. They often tell you exactly what you need to know to fix it, but because you're so invested or like consumed by what you're trying to achieve, you don't even read it. You're just like, what do you mean the file's not found? It's right there. And you go and look and it's not. And you just quietly put it there. Alright, fine. Fine, it wasn't there. So this one is WAN. Big WAN video. I'm a big fan of the big WAN. At the end of the day, this one has the best motion. Yeah, FramePack can do long video now, and LTX can do higher res on a smaller card, but it's got to look good, right? Oh no, we got a bit of an issue there. If we allow this, we're going to be in trouble. It's trying to make... Yeah, we need to swap this around. Good spot there. Good spots. 480 by 832. That's what we want there. How's it looking on the timer? 3 minutes and 33 seconds. That's not bad. I'll take 2. Okay. So anyway, as I was saying, this was made in record time because what we did was we just asked the LLM a simple, this is the prompt. Look at it. We can create 4 detailed prompts. So this is literally the ultimate distilled turbo version of everything I just showed you with the tower, but done cheap. You know what I mean? So we go into an LLM and we say, we can create 4 detailed prompts which describe a man with red hair, up to you, and a woman with black hair, up to you, talking, up to you. The man is a barman, the woman is the customer, because we want to have a reverse shot type setup. They are having a casual conversation. We should use only 2 shots, framed portraits on a white background. These will be used to create consistent characters. And then these are the qualities. I've just made a bullet point list from the waist up, close up, talking, shot, reverse shot format where both prompts describe the person in focus. The man will have the bottles, bar background behind him. The woman will have the room behind her, bar room background. So, you know, shot, reverse shot, when you're looking at the barman, he's in front of the bar, and when you turn around, there's the woman with the room behind her, yeah? This is all very straightforward stuff, and this could be any scenario, you know? Any character's any scenario. Both are lit from above. We can create the full portrait prompt on white and the upper body close-ups on respective background for each character, as we've explained, photorealistic style for this one. So you want to put something else there if you want to put something else there. And then we get these. And as I explained, if you missed it, rewind the stream. But as you can see, that is the key prompt to make the character on white. We upscale the one we like and use it as a reference for Omni in Midjourney or IP Adapter on open source. Then as soon as we get it working, everything looks good, we then swap out the prompt for something with a different scene, okay? And every time we get a good image, we save it and we make a text file which contains this prompt. Obviously, if there are like distinct changes in the scene, add them to the description part, which should be at the end. The thing about this one is we haven't made a prompt, like we haven't made a template system, because I know that'll come later when I evolve the model and retrain it through curating its outputs. And then obviously for the female character, we've done the exact same thing. We make the key art prompt, we generate it, we get the best one, upscale it, use that as the reference in MJ Omni or Comfy UI with IP adapter in whichever model you're using. Same effect, okay? As soon as we've got everything working nice, swap it out for the actual scene prompt. And the beauty of this is that now all you have to do is change what she's doing and where she is, and you can make your character be anywhere in any place. Now I suggest 3 examples of everything. So if I scroll down past these guys, you'll notice if I get past the backgrounds and down to like one of the characters, we already looked at that one. Grok was quite hard because he's an orc. All over the place. This one was also all over the place. It's actually easy. It's easy to make it consistent, but then tough to make it change. So, as you can see here, we have a human woman with dark brown skin and wild black hair, containing actual wildflowers, undyed linen robes embroidered with medicinal herbs and specialized pockets, standing neutrally, plain white background with shadow lit from above. Now, oh yeah, and that's the halfling. Out of these initial 4, remember, I'm like, trust the process, because you could spend an hour just going through these and to find the best. That's not my objective. My objective was to kind of roll the dice and say, I just like the process. I set myself a rule. I have to choose one. One of these is what I'm going to pick. So I picked this one. Right? Upscaled it and then used it for the reference. See up here? Okay. And then, as I say, we keep going through, we get the best ones, keep adding them to the data set, adding the prompts with that, captioning it as we go along. Okay, get some really nice, you know what I mean, start messing around. Anyway. So the idea is that's how it was done, right? That's how it was done. We've done that for both of them. And the reason is because with FramePack, we can make long scenes. Yep. And for the concept, right, from a production point of view, I have a camera looking at the barman, I have a camera looking at the woman. Shot, reverse shot, okay? It's probably on a swivel. What I'm trying to say is, like, you only need 2 inputs for that format. You need a woman and you need a man. The man's obviously behind a bar, the woman's obviously, you know, they're facing each other, right? I don't mean to keep going over it, but I am kind of walking down a path to where we're getting to. Yeah? So obviously by getting these images, I could just use these images, which is what I'm going to show you now. But ideally, you want to be able to recreate these characters as many times as you want in the same outfit, in the same location, or new locations, right? That's the goal. And you can do that by either retraining or with prompting. So the original model, as I say. So I wanted to show you like some easy places you can fall over on this, like for example with the sub trigger, yeah, and how this model could be better because it doesn't even have a prompt structure right now. But the concept is very simple. You start off creating concept art, which you then train the initial model, and then you refine and curate and improve the captioning, and eventually you get to the point where we are with Sharona, which is basically like you give it any skeleton and it will just puppet. So now you have a puppet that looks like this. Okay, so why are we suddenly back on this again? Because, you know, I go round in big circles. Yeah. So run out of memory. Oh, that's fun. Has it really? Wait, what? It ran out of memory, but it's still going? I'm confused. Do I still get my video though? Like, you can run out of memory all you want if it doesn't actually crash. Okay. Oh my god, look at this. Wow, that is the most cooked face I've seen ever. It's crispy, crispy. Okay. So anyway, we are now, I do like one, it has the best motion. If you look back from here, it actually looks pretty realistic. You see what I mean? But it's just cooked. Do you reckon we could fix it? I reckon we can fix it. Okay, let me just save this. Because the point is, I wanted to show you, once we have video, we can do a lot once we actually have video. So let's go into Hoda Frame Talker, which is what I was trying to show you guys yesterday. Oh, you can't even hear it. Okay, so I'm now going to say LTX bar. LTX bar, and let's see. So he asked me for a packet of fags, and I told him we are all out of peanuts. Okay, just throw in something random, guys, yeah? So it's going to want a directory containing video. Okay, so I've got this set up like test style. So what I want to do is just throw this video in that location temporarily. So if we just go to downloads, get the file, put it in test sync, and refresh. It's going to be the A first, so I think that 0 will just become that. Okay, now obviously I could find out, could preview the thing, and it changed. Cool. Now is it going to automatically yeah, it is. It's video to video. So the beauty of this is you don't crash out your system. You can dedicate all your resources to the generation, and once that job is done, you can just batch these. So let's see how we get on. So we are using Latent Sync 1.5. The way to fix it was you just add flash dash attention to the pip to the requirements and install them again. In the end, it was really simple. Like, we spent the whole 2 hours yesterday because I had so much else to talk about. I couldn't sit there and, do you know what I mean? I've got so many other things to talk about that generally, if it's like something that takes a long time, I just kind of talk about other things until it finishes. And the funny thing is, it just never finished. It was like, I'm installing flash attention all night, and it didn't install flash attention. It was a lie. So I installed flash attention. I'm just trying to see if I can find an easy folder to show you. It is, I don't know why I bother. I'm just going to close them all and just start again. Yeah, close them all and start again. Okay. But it's like it's so distracting trying to find the right tab. You end up forgetting what you're doing. It's like, man, I'm in this labyrinth. Let me just explain other things that are going on here. Okay, so we have the original video. We have ping pong mode with length adjuster, slightly larger padding. We also have Cockroach TTS using the voice of Barry, which is one of my like it's a pre-mixed numpy shape, which is the voice. And then we've also got pedalboard running a compressor, which is the most simple demo of the audio. Okay, because obviously if you're going to use text to speech and you're just going to bake it straight into the video, a compressor can help. There's another thing which you can also do. I don't know if my audio mixer node works well, but sometimes having some like, oh my god, that's terrible, mate. That's absolutely terrible. Hang on. Wow, that's the worst I've ever seen. Do you think it's the moustache? Or do you think it's just the quality of the image is just bad, dude? It says 480 by 830. Do you know what I think needs to happen? I think... Wait, what? How is that so small? I swear. 480 by... Oh. It's not that small. 480 by 832 is actually not that small. I'm just mental. So, that was bad. I wonder if it's the resolution. Like it wants it to be square, or it needs to have horizontal footage. That's bad. It has a seed, so I'm going to reduce the steps and go again, because I did increase the steps. Do you know what I mean? It's probably me. You turned the dial up too high. Also, it didn't look that great to start off with, did it? You see what I mean? I think what we need to do is type man in the blacklist. But then it was breaking, wasn't it? Let's find out. Is it the blacklist? Oh wait, hang on. We could use red, because he's got a red hair. See if that worked. Oof. Oh no, that's terrible. Yeah, and that still doesn't like it. Doesn't like my blacklist, does it? Alright, well, forget the blacklist. And I'll put it onto fixed. Put it on like, I don't know, 12. I'll cue that one. No. 6. Okay, we have a chick, but she's kind of like off the edge of the screen. Okay, that could be good. Alright. Okay, go. Oh man, that was painful. I wonder if it might be worth making the image actually smaller. Because the motion was bad. And it seems kind of low res. I mean, look, there's a lot of factors here. For example, if you use the Q8, you won't have the, you know, you'll get better quality. If you, and you know, like, I'm using a Q6K right now because we were testing that version. I normally use the Q8. It shouldn't be this noticeable though. We're coming from a resized photo. Got it on nearest. It's very strange. Very strange. And we're only actually making, by the way, there's only 33 frames at 16, so you get 2 seconds out of this. 3 minutes for 2 seconds. It's not fast. That's why I went to LTX first. So. Don't know what happened to that. But yeah, like I say, it was working great until we had shocking video to generate with, so hopefully we'll get somewhere. I do want to do some more tower illustration as well to show you that. That's probably going to be a bit more fun. So I'm going to let this go one more round, because the thing is, it's all about the quality of your input. So if I end up getting a bum output, I'm going to get a bum... It's terrible. I've not seen an output that bad since. That's the first time. All of the tests I did so far, like the video quality that I was putting in wasn't very good, but it was better than this. This is a bit like just, yeah, it's not good. It's not good. Okay. Right, well. Yeah, so anyway, That comes next, and then if we get a good one, I bother to upscaling it again. You see what I mean? It'll get interpolated, upscaled special effects. There's no point looking at the companion unless you get a good output. And this is kind of why, even though I used to make all-in-one workflows, and they are really popular, I'm wasting your time. Because if you have an all-in-one workflow, and you generate, say you start with images, so you're not generating the images as well, okay? Because then it really would be all in one, wouldn't it? Because technically, if you want to do all in one, it should be a flux workflow, and then a frame pack workflow, and then a TTS with the latent sync, and then you'll go into interpolation, and then you go into upscaling, and then that's all in one. But nobody does that because it's crazy, right? But whatever. So. My point is that if you have a crappy generation, say you batch 10 videos and half of them are crap, well, you still did all the upscaling, all the interpolation. It's kind of pointless. Like, I get if you're just going to leave it running overnight and you don't care, you know, oh, I'm asleep, who cares? That's fair enough, but if you're going to sit there and watch it, it's kind of like a waste of time. If you're going to hit the cancel button because you see a bad generation, that's fair enough though. But that's a version of human in loop though to me. Like if you batched 100 and just sat there with a button on cancel, that would actually be a human in loop approach. Okay, now that isn't crap. So now FramePack's got no excuse. I suppose the thing I could try is making it smaller, just in case it doesn't like, you know, the HD nature of what we're doing here. So let's have a look, because it is 720p technically. Well, it's not. It's close. It's bloody close. It's like 10-20% under. Okay, so let's just take that there, and then we will go to my test sync, put that in, refresh it. So that means this is going to be position number 2. No, not that one. Position 2. Okay, so we have our video, right? Okay, and then we're going to give it a female voice. We'll go with Sally. And in fact, Sally has a cool thing. Let's see if I can get it. Original melody for you. There we go. I picked a purple back in there. Good luck. Good luck. Let's just take the short version because we've only got 2 seconds, right? You can do all kinds of stuff like looping the background video and everything, but that's not my goal here. So this is going to be 1 bar. Okay, let's put the speech in, and that's it. Louis on the bus. Hello. I hope your bus makes it to its destination safely, sir. So yeah, what we got here. Bring this down. I always thought this looked a bit weird. That makes more sense. So, you know, we're loading the video. We're setting what we want it to say. We've got the length adjuster, we've got the text to speech. I'm using Cockro. You could use XTS or XTTS or F5 for the cloning. I mean, I'm using blended numpy shapes, so I got them predefined. Anyway, then we go into the pedal board for the output, and as I was saying earlier, having a little bit of room noise or outside noise to put behind the vocals will make it sound 10 times better. Like the sound design. That's really good. All right, we have graduated to the next level. Okay, guys. And that would be the WAN Companion. And I will be bringing the WAN Companion back. In fact, you know what? I will post the raw version of this onto the Discord. Okay, so if you want to take a look at that during coffee time, it's going to be in video sharing. So that's where we're at. And like I said, once you've found the right settings, the workflow's good for pretty much anything you throw into it. So if you want to check that out and listen to it with your own sound and hear the lip sync and everything, because I know when you're watching this, it's not always great. But yeah, Galactic Excursion content, amazing as usual. Haha, we do our best. Right, coffee time. I'm still here though. So yeah, things are going well. Good progress. I'm happy with that, like I say. Oh, the only thing is, most of my work is animated characters, and one big problem is that animated characters often it doesn't detect a face. It's the same issue. I think it's using face mesh, so open pose face detection, and so as a result, it can't detect animated faces very well. I wouldn't be surprised if someone brings out like an anime version or fine tunes it on anime. So it's just a technical limitation. You know, just someone will eventually fine tune one and release it, and if not, that's a side project. You know what I mean? Another one. All right, we're back. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back, everyone. Don't forget to check out the new shorts, which are highlights of live streams you may have missed. If you were here for every single one, you deserve a badge or a sticker or something. Now, let's take a look at the WAN Companion, because that would be the next piece of the puzzle. So WAN Companion is probably one of the most fun things I've ever made in Comfy, but the funny thing is, nobody really knows about it. It's kind of like a sort of weird secret. Okay. So we got Companion Fast mode on fastest. I bet I can make it faster now. People say that AI is like making everyone dumb. Well, if it's making everyone dumb, how come I'm getting smarter? Like, I never would have thought about I'm going to write an interlaced upscaler node and then I'm going to use CUDA to make it faster one day. I wouldn't have even known what the hell you were talking about. So it's complete trash. Don't listen to the FUD, guys. The hype is very, very real. So, what is VidGen Companion? Well, you'll be glad to know. It's a special tool designed at making your outputs look even more better. So we're going to take that output that we just did. Can I see the preview? Is that the one? That's not the one. Yeah, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Hold up. I am dumbass. Oh my god. I just lost connection to chat. Help! Help! They got me! The bandwidth gremlins got me. So I'm going to say here, DJZ bar. So this is going to be the first bar thing, right? This is really cool because I came up with this 2 hours ago. 2 hours ago, this didn't exist. I came up with it about 7 o'clock. I was like, how quickly can I make two characters with a consistent LoRa and all this jazz like we've been doing, but make them talk to each other as well? And it turns out the setup is about 2-3 hours. The annoying thing is you got to wait for the LoRa to actually finish training. So it's not quite there. It's still got a couple more epochs to go. Okay. But to be fair, it's been very fast considering that... Do we have a timestamp on this? No. Okay. Anyway, back to the thing. So let's pick that image. I just downloaded it, so that's the one. That's actually really good for it. We're going to put some more tongue twisters through this, by the way, so get used to seeing this loop. I might generate a couple more of these just to give us some variety, because the idea is you can load them from a folder randomly, you see, before we even get into making them longer and using frame pack and all that, because the way I see it is it's just a different method of making the initial video, right? Fortunately, YouTube Stream Text lets us see it as soon as the cache catches up. Oh, that's all right then. I hope they're not shoving me on like some back-end sort of trunk line. Like, hey, you're someone else is on right now. There's always someone else on. Okay, so what we're going to be using is my standard formula of cathode ray effect, which comes with no curvature, no scan lines, a little bit of glow, a little bit of bleed, and a little bit of noise. I'm going to reduce the noise to 0.2 and the color bleed to 6 and the glow amount to 10, just to sort of reduce it. We're using a static noise right here, but I think I might use fluctuating for this one just for fun. We're also going to be using Rife 49. We're going to be doubling the frame count, and remember, because we load it at 30, we are saving it at 60, so it's going to be the same duration but much smoother because we're doubling the frame rate. 60 FPS, baby. That's like a video game on the from the late 90s. So what we're going to do is use fastest mode. There are other modes, I wouldn't bother using them. This is made for the fastest mode, yeah? Fastest and fast. Okay. Scale factor 2. It's actually a bit too much, hang on. How big was it? It was 832 by 640. So I want it to... no... It's going to be too big, isn't it? It might be actually 1.5 that I need to get to 1080. It's not actually 1080 though. I'm just going to say 2.0 and I can scale it down. Easy way out. Okay. It does have motion compensation, but don't ask me because I got it for free from Claude. He was just like, hey, you want motion compensation? I said, yeah, sure. We're using half precision, so it doesn't like take forever. There is a batch size as well if you want to like make it even faster, but we're just going to use batch 1 for now and see how it comes out. Alright, let's let it rip. Oh, dumbass. Guess who forgot to hook up the audio? Dumbass. By the time I click cancel, it's already interpolating. Okay, give it a sec. Yeah, that was me. There we go, starting up now. Now it does break this up into batches of 18 as well. Let me just stop that. There's 178 frames. I'm just going to disable, in case you don't know, the Meta Batch Manager. It'll break this up, this job, into batches of 18 frames. You can just bypass the node. I think we can handle 178 frames. We're going to find out together. Let's see how robust this thing is. Turns out not very. Okay. Let me drink that coffee. I've been sat here talking for 10 minutes. I haven't even drank it properly. You would ask me about cold coffee in the chat every half hour, half past the hour, you know? Okay, so far, so good. No crashes yet. That's always a good sign. So yeah, as you can see, what I'm doing, I'm taking get image size and I'm pushing it into this, and that way, whether it's whether this is tall or wide, it will just automatically figure it out, which is nice because, like I said, these are all based on the concept of 720i, which is an interlaced format that cheats to get you to 1080p, but diffusion being diffusion, it doesn't care. You know, like if you add an extra row, diffusion's like, okay, yeah, I'll add an extra row. Like obviously you're using the first row, and then diffusion will actually fix that. Denoising, you see, you can't even see. Yeah, you had to like go extreme. So like if you went to like 4K, 8K using this, you will eventually see the extra stripes. Damn, it looks like it's off some kind of if it wasn't for the obvious back and forth of the video, you would think this is real. It's not bad. That's not bad. Okay, right, save that. Save that. Put that in the Discord as well. You can enjoy that one. So, I'll say above it. Above, raw output from Frame Talker workflow, and then below, after pushing through WAN Companion. Oh well, sorry, VidGen Companion. I renamed it because I realised it doesn't matter what you use. I really need to just like make like a page somewhere that lists all this stuff out. I used to use articles on Civic, but I need something a little bit better, I think. But yeah, the link is now in the video sharing section, so if you want to see what that actually looked like in the end, because this one was a bit rough. This one looks a bit overly processed now, if I'm being honest. The RGB is a little out of control. That's me though, I did that. Okay. And I believe I can change it with the color bleeding, so I'll just take that down to like 1, so it's super small. The glow amount is quite good because this is what you would expect to see with like studio lighting and compression. So hang on, go again. And like I said, you can see it. Can you see the noise when it's stopped? Look. It's kind of hard because I know the chromatic really. Well, in fact, it's kind of easier to see the noise because there's like a chromatic aberration, and in the green fade out, in the gradient, you can see the speckling of the noise, and the noise is what makes it look more natural. It stops it looking plasticky. Yeah, because people are used to seeing low quality video. They're not used to seeing plastic AI, right? And so to make it look more natural, all you have to do is add a bit of noise. As long as there's not like obvious stuff, like she's got 3 eyeballs. Do you know what I mean? Like if you've got it close enough and then you start doing the photographic tricks, you know? Because come on man, adding a bit of noise to the final image, that's not like really a big secret. It's called film grain. It's like week one week one editing course, adding grain. Why should I add film grain? Hang on, turn this up. Dude, that lip sync is tight. That lip sync is tight. There it is. So, like I said, here we are, smashing it. Just bringing out cool stuff. What's this? Okay, so now we've gotten rid of most of the chromatic. There's still a bit of glow there. Okay, so... hold up. Let's take the color bleed to 0. And I'll take the glow amount to 0 as well. So we've just got 0.03 noise, which is a little bit too much. And you'll be able to see the difference there as well. So then the last thing was obviously to pull out frame pack and make something long. And then, you know, it might be that with the frame length, we have to activate the meta batch manager. But all you need to know is that VHS tells you in the frame load cap, when you don't say any number, how many frames there are. So if you see like under 200, you don't need to do this. But if you see like 1,000, 2,000 more, you definitely need to do this. And the trick is to try and divide it to a round number. I find that's the cleanest way of doing it. He might have added a catch so that it doesn't crash when there's a remainder at the end, but it was always the case that it did crash. So obviously, you got to think common divisors, right? So you know, what does 178 divide by? Yeah, 2, 4. 2, 4, 8, 16, maybe. So I'd just give it a calc. Let's see what we can find out, shall we? Oh, actually, wait. There's an even better way of doing it. I don't know why I even. Stupid. 178 common divisors list, please. Common divisor meaning a number which divides cleanly into the number, right? So let's see how good you are at math. Oh crap, 2 times 89, it's double prime. So 89. It seems like 1, 2 and 89. So I was right to stop. I was like 1, 2, 4 question mark. I like lost confidence immediately. I didn't even know, but it turns out that it's a double prime number, so yeah, it's going to be bloody awkward. But you could do batch 89, and so then if it was, you know, anyway, if you had 1,780, you could do 20 batches of 89. You see? So it cleanly divides. Now if it didn't, you can just put a frame cap, and then it will. So like, for example, say I'll just be like, oh, I'm not going to do the last 8 frames. Say 170, and then you can do you know, batches of 10 or some other number that divides, right? That's the strategy that I use anyway. So how are we looking? Wait, the chromatic's back? Oh, hang on a minute. Oh, there must have been chromatic on it already. No. Where'd the chromatic come from? You liar. Is it putting chromatic on and then not asking? That would be annoying. I asked for that. Wait. Hang on. I need to double check this, because that's a bug. It's not supposed to put RGB on unless you have color bleeding. Yeah, glow amount something else. The background music is loud. Turn it down, bro. Turn it down. That does mean, yeah, that does mean turn me down as well. Like, I shouldn't be super loud. It's just supposed to be like background music. But yeah, hello Sad Neo, welcome, welcome. Still got bloody right. So hang on, that's annoying. It's still got it on there. Okay. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Okay, so obviously we have our control data set, which includes canny, depth, open pose, mask, and the image itself. And then if you look at the depth prompt, now we have the control prompt model. We can go ahead and send that into Shaka Labs Union and just pick the one that we want. So it's very straightforward. Using black bars, we can pad out the poses as well. So it's quite dynamic system. What do we got here? Which tower are we looking at? Tower 9. So we haven't looked at that one yet. Now, before I go ahead and show this off, I do have to actually finish the next tool, okay? Tell you what, Sad, I'll turn down the music just for you. Do you know what? It's not a big deal. It's like I said, it's not like a big feature of the stream, so I'll put it back down to minus 22 decibels. That's a whole decibel. But yeah, I do want to be heard, so yeah, I'll turn it down. Okay, so what I'm going to say here is, we obviously have our post-processing. Now, I don't just have one. If I just type effect, I only use that one as an example a lot. But if you look at my DJZ nodes repo, we have many effects, and they all work the same, right? And they're not all mine. Okay, so we have many effects. Now, film grain effect also does film grain over time, but it doesn't have a math expression, so I don't generally use that one. I use the VHS stuff a lot. The CRT one is quite nice, and that one has bloom and phosphor blur. I can turn off the... Yeah, we'll use that one instead. Okay, so here we have our CRT effect. This is the... See, they're both the same thing, and you think about it. Look, see, cathode ray effect and CRT effect. I think one of them is meant for images and one of them is meant for video. But they're both compatible with batch, so it doesn't really matter which one you use. Okay, so let's just push this one out of the way for a second. Forget about him. He's alright, but he's letting me down, so I'm just going to swap him out. So again, this one actually has RGB offset exposed, so I'm going to say 0. Alright. I don't want a vignette, so I'll turn that off. I don't really want curvature for this one, so I'll turn that off. Bloom I'm okay with, but I want it at like... Oh, that's weird, you can't have 10. Alright, I'll just have 9. And then bloom intensity... I'll leave that alone for now. Phosphor blur, I'll turn down to 3 because I like triangles. Scanline spacing will take down to 1 and then this to 0. Hopefully then it's done. As for the preset mode, I'm on custom so that it'll listen to all the things I'm doing, but it does come with presets for... And I think you can even create your own. I think I made them as external files which you can change. But don't quote me. Sometimes it's hard coded in. And I intend to make a V2, which will do that, right? It's kind of like if nobody asks for it, then I move on to the next thing. Maybe I'll come back to it when I need it, right? So I'll leave the spread on, brightness and contrast, I'll leave that alone. All right, so let's run that and see how hilariously broken it looks. So you look at that, you can, whoa, it's too much bloom, my guy, overexposure. Then it did kind of look like that in Mid-Journey actually. So let's see, the brightness is quite high, but it's not the brightness, it's the bloom intensity. So I'll take it down to like 0.05, that's usually enough. And then we'll just run it again, cue it again. But like I said, do you see how it looks? It already looks more natural, and it's just a 2-second loop going backwards and forwards. Do you see the difference? So let me just go back to where we were. This is how it looked. That's how it came out. It's good, but it's not good enough. If you really look at it, can you see the grain that just gives it away? The way you can tell instantly by certain textures. It's like a cross-hatching, pixelated cross-hatching. Yeah. It's good. It's really good. But it's not gonna pass the spit test, yeah? See all of this up here? I mean, I appreciate the compression on YouTube might be slaughtering this comparison here. But you can really see it. Yeah. Okay. So, like I said, we did WAN, image to video, standard. You can do that any normal way, any workflow, don't care. Video, get the video, throw it in Frame Talker. Again, you don't need to use mine. You don't even need to use Kokoro. You don't even need to use Pedalboard, but the key is the Latent Sync 1.5 node. This is the engine in this truck, okay? Everything else is just extra bit bells and whistles. Look, I'm not gonna lie, Kokoro's amazing. And I've added a lot of extra features to my Kokoro version, yeah? Like blending voices and saving your own as separate files that they're yours. It's just a numpy table, so why not? Pedalboard, this is Spotify. So this is a professional studio grade tool. You can make your own audio chain effects as external files. By the way, .kkv, I made it up. It's not a thing. I just made it up. It means Kokoro voice, but it's a numpy file. And then .pdl is just a Python, I think. But I just called it PDL for Pedalboard, right? Whenever I make these tools, I try to make it so the community can get involved and, get extra mileage out of this stuff, yeah? So we've done the voice, we've done this, and this is actually really good that we have to upscale it now, because right now the mouth doesn't match the face. It does, but it doesn't, if you see what I mean. It's kind of hard to see, but it's lost focus. Yeah? See how sharp the lips are? It's too sharp, you know what I mean? It's too sharp. And this is why, once we've done this bit, we move on to this bit. So again, original videos coming in like blurred and pixelated. And then we do our thing. That's over blurred. Oh no, actually, wait. Turn the phosphor blur down to 0.1. Go again. I think the bloom might still be too high. It might come down to like the spread. Take the spread down to like 5. Okay. You see how we're playing with the sharpness. See the difference? Before it had all of this weird cross-hatching stuff. And pixelation and jagged lines, and the eyes were too sharp for the mouth, and then the process of getting the CRT treatment, which is basically just a bunch of noise. All right, so this is going to come out looking a bit like VHS by the looks of it, because like I said, it's a cathode ray simulator, so it's trying to make it look like old telly, you know. The spread, yeah, I've turned the spread down now. It'll probably be the next one. It might even go down far as, not down, as far as 3, actually. Let's have a look. It's taken forever to save it. Come on. Look at it go. Why is it so slow? I feel like my hard drive's going. Do you know what the funny thing about this is? You know it's fake, but it looks real enough. It looks like I'm watching a TV show. It looks like I'm watching a TV show. But I know it's fake because it's like... But the weird thing is, right, you expect it to loop because it's going backwards and forwards really obviously. It's like really obviously on a backwards and forwards loop. But the mouth keeps going forwards. I'm going to save this one and throw it up in the video sharing section again, so you get to check it out without my music playing and all the rest of it, and there's a YouTube compression and all that. So it is in the video sharing section. The link's in the description. If you don't already have that, you can get in there and check it. But like I said, this is the original out. This is my optimization, and then this is me calming down. So calmed FX, new node. Yeah. So it's not like new, just different from that one. Yeah. No crazy RGB. But as you can see there, it just looks like it's been recorded off TV and uploaded to the internet. Like, we take advantage of the fact that compression has a certain look to it and introduce those artifacts back into the video so that it looks like what your brain's expecting to see. Old TV. You see? Now, I do want to quickly demo the effect chain just quickly so you can just see how that works. It's very simple. So we're going to use VHS for this one, because like I say, VHS effects are fun. So I'm going to use VHS. I think I'm using V2 and V3. Yes. VHS V3. Okay. So then we go down to the bottom. Shift drag the output if you want to move things like that. And we're going to chain it through. Now, because we're going to chain through all three, we need to check for any effects which are similar. So, for example, if there's multiple blooms or color bleeds, we want to dial those back to avoid a stacking effect. So I'll get rid of the color bleeding on that one, and the color bleed offset here, color bleed strength here, so there's color bleeding everywhere. Color bleeding is actually pretty cool. I might leave that on there. Yeah, we don't have color bleed up there. Noise line count 0, distortion bands. I mean, I may as well show you what they are, but I usually turn them off. Noise line intensity. I'm gonna go with 3, 6. Composite. We'll go with EP. EP is usually a bit more weathered. Now, sometimes I turn down the composite pre-emphasis to 2 because I'm running these both at the same time. But yeah, if I just do a thing, we don't have to do the whole thing. Because of the way this is set up, we're actually pulling the first frame. So we can just process the first frame, see what that looks like. And if we like it, we can go with it. If we don't, we can tune things. Okay. And as I said, if I just type effects when I have my nodes installed, see mine popping up all over the place. Jitter, VHS, VGA, CRT, fisheye, dead pixel, kinescope, film grain, cathode ray, classic film, anamorphic, and film grain V2. Ooh, look at this. Now that's a bit too strong. You see what I'm saying? It's a bit too strong, but look at that. Oh, it's close. I can feel it. Okay, so 2 and 2. Okay. And I think we're doing chroma noise once. We might turn the chroma noise down as well. So let's just have another go. So this is going to look like, 90s old footage. You know what I mean? If we can get it right. It takes a while to tune up the parameters. Once you've got it, you've got it good for forever. It looks like cooked nightclub CCTV or something, like Handycam from 1992 or something. Obviously the aspect ratio is all wrong, but who cares about that? And so now you can see there's my noise line. They go down the screen real fast, and then there's a band, distortion band. Yeah. Came out like something from Paranormal Activity. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's like old low quality found footage, like analog style. So let's see, we turn down the compositing. I reckon I'll go down to like 2500 on that one and 500 on that one, because there's a lot of, do you know what I mean? When you're stacking all these nodes up, they obviously like double their effects. So do we have bloom anywhere else? No, we don't have blur anywhere else. VHS out, sharpen. Put that to like 1.5. I think that's good. Sharpen, there's sharpen down here as well. So which one do I want to do? I'm just going to say one. One more, let's go. Maybe the phase noise can come down. And you know, it's funny, to get this to look genuine, I had to get a custom, the ringing power, you couldn't generate it. It wasn't possible to generate the ringing power sample. I had to get an actual sample of VHS video and then turn it into a numpy table. And then it worked. I was like, oh, god damn. Ooh. Oh. Yeah, look at, wow. Okay, the distortion band is a little like heavy, but that's because it's a freeze frame. I still feel like there's a little bit too much junk on the face, but I know this is going to work, so we're just going to go with this now. Obviously, you could continue tweaking, and it is literally that the values are too high. They're very sensitive when you've got stacked effects. It's the same if you're working in Premiere, Vegas, DaVinci. You know, you add a shitload of effects and dial them all up. It's going to look like garbage. So you've got to kind of go through and dial it all down. But I've made it easy. All you've got to do is right-click. You know, right-click Q, because RG3 allows you to do that. And then you can just look at one image. It saves a lot of time. And then once you've got something you kind of like the look of, you can blast it. So obviously once this is done, I'll upload it to the video sharing section so you can take a look at it. Because like I said, the only difference from my workflows and many of the other ones out there is I deviated from doing all-in-one workflows, mostly because it was like so much wasted compute, man. Like it all looked great because the thing is, everything has to be one shot every time for an all-in-one to work. But if you have what I do, which is batch output to a folder at each stage, then you can go into that folder and delete the crap before you feed it into the next stage. So it's exactly the same. I just don't upscale my crap. That's all. You know? Obviously, if I'm leaving it running overnight, I might use an all-in-one, but I generally split up the jobs, you know? Because you'll get more images made if you don't have the upscaler switched on. And then you can delete the crap ones, upscale the good ones only. You just end up with more quality images. See, look at the scan lines, they're too crazy. But yeah, the effect is working. So what I'm going to do now is turn off or reduce the scan lines. You see what? See, it's just an iterative. See, let's just disable them completely. We'll just disable them completely for now. I maybe went too far by like deleting everything. You only need to do the count and the bands. And we'll run it again. See, I don't mind, like I really love the effects that do that, but they're too... I need to put an effect over time so that they apply with a different interval. Because at the moment they're just coming down like constantly. Do you know what I mean? And it needs to be like one comes down, then maybe another one. And like there needs to be more analog timing that's different, you know what I'm saying? Because that's how it was. I've been looking at old footage to see if I can like emulate some of the other stuff, because I noticed there's another one, it's like a color band, like an overexposed color band that comes right the way down one side, and it'll kind of move from here to here vertically. I like the look of that. I wonder if we can emulate something like that. I don't know if you know what I mean, but the old video footage, it's like you get it with old TV broadcasts. But anyway. So here we go. What's it doing now? It's doing the upscale. Hold on to your butts. And like I say, this is it's a full pipeline. Everything's customizable. You know, you got full control over everything that's happening here. So when this is finished, it will get rid of the tacky, because there's too much. If it was slower or there was less of them, it would be fine. But because there was so many, it's just hyperactive. See, look at that. if you saw, like, obviously, just imagine that it's not a 2-second back and forth. I've done that to save time, right? FramePack can make a 30-second clip. If we did that back and forth, you'd have to watch it for a full minute to figure out that it was looped, because everything else isn't. You know what I mean? Let's save it. That looks like cam footage. It's crazy. There we go. She's up. Because of the repeated eye movement, camera movement, and the fact that it's obviously a ping pong loop, it looks really good considering that you know it's fake. You know it's fake. You know it's AI, right? But if the news, say this said at the top, like, you know, the news, so-and-so is marrying some famous guy, you know? And it's like this. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's absolutely right. It's true. Yeah. This is a 4090, but it doesn't need it doesn't need it all. I run a 2050, which is a 4 gigabyte in a laptop. I run a 4060, which is in the streaming machine for recording the lives, and that is, I think that's 4 or 6 gigabytes. And then, like I said, the main machine is a 4090 with 24. So, like, I do most of my actual contract work on the big boy. But whenever I'm doing projects like this, the goal is to try and get it working for less, for cheaper. And so, like I say, in terms of, I don't mean money either. I mean, like, hardware requirements. So, like, if we just take a step back here, yeah, we actually do have the Q4 KM in 480p here. So, you know, you can quantize these models down. I can't show you right now. But, you know, you can get them Q4 and it will still make video. I don't know how good it is. I bet it starts to have problems the more you crush it. But yeah, the answer is 4090. So yeah, a reminder of what it looked like out of the video model there. Okay. And there are some problems. If you have a keen eye, there are some problems. All right. So we went from that into Frame Talker. We end up with this. The irony is it actually fixed her weird teeth. She had weird teeth in the original, and it actually got fixed by the Frame Talker. And when I say Frame Talker, I obviously mean that's what I've called my workflow. Because normally what I do is I put workflows into a pack named after the model. But something like this doesn't actually, it's like VidGen Companion. It's not actually, it can work with any video. You just load video and it does the thing, right? So it's not, you know what I mean? It does effects. It interpolates to double the number of frames, and then it upscales by double as well. So it does all those things, and it's just video in, video out. So at that point, I can't put it in a pack with a bunch of models, can I? You know what I mean? Because it kind of just does the thing. But yeah, like I say, once you've got it out of Frame Talker, which is based on Latent Sync 1.5, yeah. Once you get it out of Frame Talker, it will still be pixelated and have weird problems like it did out of the main generator. But the lip sync is brilliant. The lip sync is brilliant. So then all I've done is I've put it in my companion app. You can obviously choose workflow, not app. I've put it in my companion workflow. I'm using CRT effect, VHS V2 and VHS V3, and if I remember right, I think VHS V3 is just the lines, so I could probably just like get rid of that. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to swap it out for this one, because then I can show you my film grain V2 node, because we were talking about that just now. So let's just get rid of the V3, because we basically turned it all off anyway. Now, everyone's using LLMs now, so I often like to give people option of a math expression. Now, I can't read this. If you said to me, what does that mean, Johnson? I'd be like, it means preset. It means custom mode. When you put it in custom mode, you can type a math expression in here that will control the amount of noise over time. So this isn't just adding noise to the video. I mean, look, you can see I love experimenting with noise, right? So if you look at, let me see, if we go to my DJZ nodes, not the workflows, even though this is also an amazing resource, hundreds and hundreds of workflows and examples for every single one of my nodes. If you go to the DJZ nodes repo, you'll notice that there is a matching MD file for almost all of the nodes I've made. I say almost because I think some of the newest ones might be missing. So for example, right now I'm looking at film grain effect V2, okay? And this might be the day when I finally find one I've missed the documentation on. So let's go and look for grain. So film grain effect 1, film grain effect 2. Let's look at the manual for the V2 node. So this is going to explain what all of the things are. Yeah, the presets. Which preset do you want? Also explains it can use mathematical expression. So the time variable T. Okay. It has, you can do normal distributions and stuff. There's really a lot here. And then what I've done is I've shown you, look, each of the presets is actually in the code as an expression. So, you know, rather than you having to go in and like edit it, I made it that you can just type in whatever one you want. And so obviously if you were to like say, like here. Let's go to our favorite friend, Mr. Claude. And I'll say, we can create more noise over time presets which are mathematical expressions, which are written as, I should have said. Okay, and the thing is, there's a reason that I gave you 3 examples. Where'd it go? Here we go. There's a reason I gave you 3 examples. It's not, you know, because you. Why have you given me the 3 I already have? For this reason here. Sad Neo says, cool, I've got a 4080 and I feel like limoted with VRAM. I may take the bullet and go for the 4090, hopefully. I would say that, look, it's never a bad idea to get the 4090, but definitely get yourself a 64 gigabyte system RAM. Get yourself a 64 gigabyte system RAM upgrade. Whatever the maximum system RAM is on your main board, upgrade to that. Because 1, you get the most out of the 4090 if you ever get one, but 2, there's a lot of CPU offloading going on these days, and you might actually find out that you don't need one. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of things you don't really need a 4090 for anymore. Like, I can do almost everything on my 4 gigabyte laptop. Like, obviously you can't run Flux, you know what I mean? You can't do Flux image generation, you can't do video generation, but those are like, you've already got 64. Ah, perfect. You're ready then. Your motherboard is ready for the upgrade. Yeah. Okay, so hang on a sec. So wait a minute. Okay, I say no. No. I nearly did the dumb thing. We can create 10 more presets for various styles of noise over time effects. Go on then. Let's see it. He's good. Did he just get stuck? Trigonomic FU? Hang on a minute. Wait, what? Trigonometric function? Trigonometric? Love it. Trigono? Do you like that? Trigano. Okay, so here it is. So as you can see, so it's sort of like, oh, so, you know, you want more noise effects. Technically, this node doesn't actually have a set limit. It's unlimited. What do you want? What do you want, you know? Should we do VHS tracking issues and see what it does? I want to do that one. I want to do that one. Post that one in there, and you watch it crash now. So bass intensity 0.1. Okay, so first of all, did my math expression. Oh, invalid syntax. Perhaps you forgot a comma. Claude. Okay, wait, hang on. When I use this expression, I am told the syntax is wrong. Whoops. Okay, hang on. He's fixing it. He's fixing it. I want you to fix this one, mate. The back and forth gets faster and faster all the time. I love it. So there's a ternary operator. Bloody hell. All right, calm down. So basically, Claude was too smart. So let's try the first one and see if that crashes. Whoops. All right, and again, this is why I do the preview, so that when it's broken, we don't have to worry about it. Yeah, he's still not happy with that. Perhaps he forgot a comma, he says. So, option 2. He's given me lots of different options for the compatibility. One of them's got to work, surely. It might be that I'm asking for things I'm not allowed to ask for. I might just say, oi, stop making stuff up. Evaluating expression name step is not defined. Step. Okay, so we can't use step. Please restrict your variations to only, to the format shown in the examples. So, because he's basically using characters that my code probably doesn't understand, because it would be a very simple implementation, you know. Yeah, I don't look. See, my environment doesn't understand. Wonder if there's a way to just upgrade what I've got so it will understand. I should ask him that next, shouldn't I? This is the adventure now, guys. It's the undiscovered country. Do we get it? I'm not seeing an error yet. Oh, it didn't break. So okay, let's run it and find out. So that should be, well, it's telling me that is VHS tracking issues. So if your environment doesn't support sine or max functions, here you go. It uses a high exponent on the sine function to create an effect that's nearly 0 most of the time and peaks sharply when sin t20 approaches 1, simulating intermittent tracking issues without using conditional operators. Okie dokie. I wonder what that looks like. So much fun. Yeah, Claude's a genius. He is the GOAT. In fact, I've actually started saying people say that he is Clauded, which is like, that's how good he is. He's that good that people are starting to call things Clauded when they're like perfect or just hit the mark, which I love. I think that's great. But yeah, like I said, I've actually got a Nokia pocket phone which records video that looks way worse than this, but like it's the same vibe you're going for. I've also got a bunch of like tapeless camcorders converted for digital, but like they still have that look to them. So yeah, it's actually a joy to be able to apply this, because I swear, like, some of the new video formats are a little bit like, they don't look as good anyway. So what did we need the quality for? But you know, Come on, where's that? Dude. I'll post it up. You can actually see the effect. You can see the effect in the noise, but it's very slight. So what I might do is I'll boost the noise scale so it's more obvious. Hopefully it's not like so strong now that you can't bloody see anything. Let's do a preview and find out how strong that is. Oh wait, that's the wrong one. I should have done not 0.2. I should have done 1. All I did there was make the noise bigger, so you can see the pattern is bigger and like way more obvious. See that? I don't know if you can see that actually. I'm looking at the monitor on my screen. I'm not sure if you can see that, but it should be a load of yellow, red and green patches all over everything. RGB. But I'm looking at it on my monitor. I don't know. I only get a preview, so maybe you can see more pixels than me. I know that YouTube compression doesn't help when we do these sorts of comparisons, but yeah. Yeah, you can really see the noise on the cheeks. You can see it dancing around. Wow. But it just makes the skin look much more natural. Her chest looks a bit cooked, but there is actually a necklace there. Damn, that looks natural. So again, that was achieved using a combination of WAN video. Say hello, WAN video. Frame Talker, which is my implementation of Latent Sync 1.5 with Kokoro TTS and Spotify's pedal board audio chainers. And then finally through my VidGen companion, which combines many interchangeable modular custom effects, features a lovely preview system to save you time tuning the whatever you chose to do, and then obviously my custom fast upscaler as well. Should we do a 4K? Not a 4K. Should we do the 4X just to show you guys? Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do the 4K. I'm going to turn this back down to 0.1 so it's a little bit more realistic. And off we go. Hello, WAN. Yeah, Big WAN. Big WAN's the man. Where else are you going to see realistic movement like that? Not from Hun Yuan or... yeah. I don't know though. I don't know. Like, this is the thing. I've deliberately not done frame pack tonight, guys, because I know the hype is all about frame pack. And people will say, frame pack, we can make frame pack talk now. Don't fall for the paywall. It is literally stuff I already put out months ago, just put together. Just put back together in an all-in-one. And to be honest, all-in-ones, like I keep saying, you just end up upscaling a bunch of crap that you didn't even like. You come to the folder and half of it has to be deleted anyway, so what's the point? You know? But sometimes these videos can take 5 minutes to make. So, like, you can't be spending... say you did 6 hours of generating all night and 3 hours of that was just crap. Well, there's a better way, and that is curation. So, you generate your videos, you generate your images, you delete the crap ones. You generate your videos, you delete the crap ones. You do the post effects and the upscaling. Usually there are no crap ones by that point. See, that's the point. So you do you do this bit. Because the thing is, the next thing I'm going to be working on is a new dataset format, because I just can't help myself. Okay, the last dataset format that we made was the control prompt set. Oh my god, my computer's completely crashing out. So yeah, the next dataset format type is going to be speech and video. So in other words, it'll be a video clip and it will be a file. It'll be a text pair, you know, like same file name, image with the text together, right? My god, the computer's completely crashed out. I don't know why. Oh, I know why. It's because we're doing 4x upscaling. Of course. So anyway, I'm just going to ignore it then. Every time you see the screen freeze, my CPU is bottlenecking, just so you know. So yeah, the next dataset type, it is a video clip, probably 10 seconds in length, paired with a prompt. And that prompt is the text-to-speech line. I think you can see where I'm going with this. So then what happens is you curate good videos that can be redubbed. Yeah. And then you get an LLM to help you write out the script, or you get your script and then the LLM can put it into the format. And then ultimately we throw that back in, and then you can just leave it running overnight and it can do all of that stuff, right? Because here's something that you could automate, you know. So you've got your good video, you've got your lines, you do that, and then you go through the companion for the upscaling, and then come in the next day, it's all the best videos, now saying the lines you wanted and upscaled. And it doesn't look like crap either. Now I'll admit, there are issues. Hands. Big hands. Big problems. Now me, I like it when there's extra fingers. Personally, I'm a big fan, but I realise that people don't like that. So you just don't have hands in the shot. Crop it out, you know what I mean? There's lots of ways to get around that problem. There have been famous actresses who have like crow toes and cleft fingers, for example, and you'll never know about it because it's just not in the picture. Yeah. So, you know, it's not shameful. You know what I mean? You don't have to show every inch every time. Oh, by the way, what we're actually doing right now is pushing my... I'm pushing it to its limit. It could even crash. It's like a drunk sailor. Thurnicar says, VHS Simulator and its Galactic Bitcoin. Don't remind me, I still have to write 3 more books about that. The trick is to buy it and wait for the universe expansion to cool, and then your Bitcoin will be a fortune. It's true. Sad Neo says, speaking of leaving stuff overnight, I try that. Sometimes it works. I find some errors or ooms. I wonder if there's any chance of retrying a Q prompt automatically. Interesting. Something went wrong in the night. There was a bump in the night. A neutrino collided with your comfy queue and caused it to explode. Yeah, it's happened. It's happened to me. I've had the same problem before as well, where you set a big queue and, like, you know, there was some input issue. Why are you constantly... It was constantly reading it out, guys. I just had to take my mouse off it. Oh, wow, look at that. It's finished. So I wonder what 4x looks like. So, yeah, there is no way of retrying the queue over automatically, as you say. If you are running an API, then you could have been using like a management queue, which could have had the ability to represent the job. But that's not the same thing. So no, the answer is no. What I generally do is either design custom nodes to stop it from not being, you know what I mean? Because sometimes it'll stop because it's like, there's no image, you know what I mean? So I make tools that allow you to load prompts on a loop, for example. So it's going to continuously give you a new prompt and it'll never ever run out. You could just leave it on till the heat death, like the GPU is going to fail from hardware before it will stop without you stopping it, you know? And then obviously it's up to you on designing the prompt structure. This is one of the reasons why I wanted to show this project that we've just done, Tower Illustration Engine. So this is a high-level overview of how that was done. So we've gone from concept art to pre-trained LoRa with the prompt template. And the actual idea is that only the scene phrase is actually generated with AI. Everything else is actually set by human. And that way it's not inconsistent. It's 75% cheaper than generating the whole thing with AI. And like I said, you only need to change this part. So why generate all that It just makes everything different when you didn't want him to. Yeah, but that's a good example. This is a good example because, like I said, the AI can just give it a different location and a different pose, but the clothing's the same, the character's the same, the trigger's the same. So it's kind of just like this is what's been going on. Token bloat, yeah. It's better if you're in the business of selling tokens. Why would you want everyone to generate the whole thing every time? Look, see this prompt here? The prompt doesn't change until this bit. That's the bit you want to generate. Look, if I highlight it again and then scroll, you can't even see it. So it's like more than half of everything you get back was just the same thing that you gave to it. So there's actually, and you get better outputs when you're just training this. If you're just doing this bit, this part can't infect it. Yeah, it's interesting. It's really interesting. And then you get your character consistency. Okay. Oh boy, dude, that's straight off the telly. Hang on. The audio needs to be better now. Now you can tell it's fake because the audio, I was talking about this earlier. There's a way of passing the sound of the outside, the sound of the room, the sound of the studio, just the dead air, just dead air. You know, like what it sounds like when you have a microphone recording and there's no one saying anything? There is a different noise for every type of room and situation. And so if you add that to this, that's the icing on the cake, mate. No one can tell. It's done. If anything, they'll tell because there's too many special effects. So then we just start dialing it back until it's barely perceivable. See, the perfect amount of special effects is barely perceivable. I'm trying to stylize the image to make it look retro, so I don't mind that it's sort of like this, because that was like the signature that you would see when you were looking at old TV. But now the audio is what gives it away. And like I said, I know how to fix it. All you do is you blend the audio with like canned static, and you match it to the environment. So she's in a bar right now, so you need like the sound of people talking, drinks, glasses touching, and the general ambience is what we need now. So an ambience library, which goes into like an audio combine. Audio combine audio. I've made my own. It's not very good though, I'll be real, okay? Some of my stuff is weak. This is one of my weak nodes because it doesn't cater for every type of audio. I made it to work with this one, the load video, and it will output to this one. But interoperability with other audio nodes doesn't always work, and I think it's because I called it Audio 1, Audio 2, and they should both just be called Audio. So I think that's probably why. So I'll fix it eventually. But the idea, of course, is that when you put your speech and your ambience in, you can independently balance the levels and then pass it to the video. So that's how you fix it. You see what I mean? The fix is there. We know what the fix is. Have I saved this yet? So let's find out. 50 megabytes. Let's find out how big it is. No, not always open. How big is it? Let's see. And now I won't try to claim that this was fast or anything, because it wasn't. But this is 3328 by 1920. So it is a very tasty. It's like not quite 4K, but it's getting close to 4K at 60 FPS, no less. Okay? Yeah, it's not just 4K, it's 60 FPS. It's close. 33,000, so 3300 by 1920. That's getting there. And so what I would actually do now is I would shrink this down to 1080 by 1920 for the vertical res. I'm going to share that one over in Discord so that you guys can see the final beast. So that's it. Let's have a look at this. I got a comment. Sad Neo, I just saw something. I want your thoughts about it. I know it's out of context, but what is the GOAT face swapper? Reactor. It's reactor. Easy. And is there any way to have accurate body proportions in Flux? Dude, you're going to be glad that you came along to the stream tonight, because I'm about to show you something which is going to solve all your problems. Give me a sec. If you go into DJZ workflows, obviously my nodes are over there. If you want to go into DJZ workflows, you will see there's a DJZ nodes examples, which contains workflows for all of my nodes. There is also a Foda Flux pack, which is for the Flux Dev and Flux Schnell workflows. If we go inside here, you'll find there's a whole bunch of different face swapping tools, like Reactor. They're all in here, okay? I'm just trying to see, where's that face swapper that we just did? We did this literally yesterday. Do you know what? The quickest way for me to find it is ironically to search for it in here. So if I come into workflows, I have my DJZ workflows cloned inside Comfy. It's funny how they've added workflow support to the UI now, huh? Because for the last 6 months, we've all had that. Because in my tutorial, I'm like, you can just clone all the workflows into Comfy, and then they're all in here. Look, 651 workflows. You want some? They're all in there. And searchable. So like I said, if I say Reactor, it's going to show me Foda, Reactor, Laura, Swap, Jajuf, Lines, Jajuf, 40. So let's take a look at that, shall we? Oh, and also face. Oh, it's lagging out again. Give me a minute. Why is it lagging now? We're not even doing anything. Okay, face, right? Now then, face merge. I think that's what it is. Is it face merge? No, that's face tools. Face swap. That's infinite U. Right, okay, hang on. Reactor, come on, is it? No, boosted. I need a face shaper. There it is. It's in modules. It's in modules. Right, so I don't have it installed right now. This is Face Shaper by MediaPipe. So it's an additional workflow. You'll find this one in DJZ modules. Is it in modules? Go back. There, modules. Right, so these are meant to be dropped into any workflow. Yeah? Obviously the SDXL is SDXL, but you have RemBG InspireNet video. You have Face Shaper MediaPipe, which I'm going to show you in a sec, and then obviously background video swaps. So you can like drop these in, you can copy paste them into other workflows. But they, you know, standalone video to video or image to image. Let me show you the workflow, and I can't show you it working, but what it is you get a face and then you get 2 images, right? And what it's going to do is it's going to reshape the face. Okay, so say you've got a face swap and you want to swap the face of a person onto another person, and one person has like a long face and the other person has like a fat face, and you want to put the fat face on the long faced person, you can change the shape of the face with this. Okay, I can't show you right now because I haven't even got it installed. It's been a while, but once you get it installed, I know it works. Yeah, so literally it's like target source or source target, whatever, and it will actually, like I said, it'll take the shape of the face that you're targeting and then make the source face that shape, and then you do Reactor and swap it, and the face swap is better, you know what I mean? Because like the eye position and the mouth and the nose and everything's just slightly more, it's closer. It takes a bit of tweaking to get all of the, you know what I mean? It takes a bit of tweaking. That's why there's a debug, but it's worth it. It was, like I said, we made it its own thing, right? Regarding Reactor itself, we did a workflow recently called Foda Reactor Laura Car Swap, which you'll find in the Foda pack. And basically, it comes with a creator. So as you can see here, you can create your own. You just got to unmute and you put in 512 by 512 crops. Give it a name. You can see the file name. Oh no, wait, you can't because it's behind my arse. There you go. You put the file name in here and then mute it back up. And then inside the workflow, there's a drop-down list right here. Push R to refresh the list after you've made a new one. And there are my faces. Now, the fun part is, in fact, you know what? Let's do something for fun here. Come on, I only did one thing for fun before we go. Where is it? I got like a silly one. Yeah, that's the silly one. All right, let's go. So, we start off by doing load image batch. Quite simply, what we do is we put the path to the directory, and then we use a number to represent the index of the file in that folder. And in that way, we can just batch through hundreds of images, doing the exact same thing to every single one. So I'll obviously collect all of my images of this character, shove her all in one there, and then choose her face. Obviously she has a face, which is Sharona. I've chosen Joe Thanos face this time for fun. And then what it's going to do is it's going to do the boosting. You don't have to have the boost on, but I have it on. I choose to turn it down and then double it. So we actually get an effective 1.4, but it's fine. And then we do use the reactor masking helper, and this is one of the reasons why I love this one so much. Like, you can create your own face, so that means we're not actually doing face compute. We're only applying the face as it was pre-compiled, right? So we're applying it in generation. So we save compute there, and as a result, it's like 10 times faster than other face swapping. Also, there was another thing that was good at. It can do multiple people and stuff, but I generally use it just for the one face at a time. Oh, that was the other thing. So the other thing is, you'll notice a lot of the time when you face swap, the face is too sharp, and so I've got the fix. Okay. The fix is you have to downscale the image before you do the face swap. So what I do is I take an image down to a safe SDXL aspect ratio. It's automatic. And then it'll do the face swap. And when it does the face swap, you'll notice that it's quite low quality. So then what we do is we take the image into a custom built 768x tiled upscale using bicubic 2x. Okay. And this just uses flux, there's no GAN, but recently I found it was beneficial, although only marginally, to add the same LoRa that was used to train the image in question. So obviously when I'm working on a project, that's easy, just add the LoRa and the trigger word to the upscaler, and off it goes. But if I'm being honest, up until since last summer I made this upscaling workflow, and we attach it to everything, video, image, whatever, and I've never actually done with this. I've never done the trigger and added the LoRa in. Normally I keep it clean, and it has like a clean, you take it from here, so it's free of all that stuff. But yeah, you can find it by cloning just clone the whole thing, mate. It's easier. You clone the whole thing and you put it inside your Comfy UI in the users workflows folder. So I'll just show you that very quickly. And this goes for any workflows that you have, to be honest. You can put them all in folders in there. So like I say, if you go into the Comfy UI folder, you'll notice that there is a user folder here. Okay, go in there and go into default and then workflows, and you'll see DJZ workflows, and these are all the ones I've actually saved on this current install. But if you, like I said, put my thing there, or git clone it here, which is even better, because then you can just update it with a git pull, you'll get all of them there. And then the beauty of that is you don't have to mess around trying to find stuff on my GitHub, because when you're in Comfy, you can just use the filter and just be like, oh, SDXL, and it'll only show me SDXL workflows or stuff that had SDXL in the name. So yeah, Is it giving me Joe Biden's face? It's Joe Biden Thanos, by the way. It's a mix of the two. Because we were doing a test and we blended we blended Thanos and Joe Biden together to do a demo of face blending. Oh God, it's going to do the upscaler now. Surely not. All right, guys. I think that's enough for the Friday night. Thank you very much. I don't think there's going to be enough time for this upscale, but maybe I'll post it in the Discord for a joke. But yeah, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a blast. As always, we'll be back same time tomorrow. Don't miss, 8 p.m. UK time. I'll see you tomorrow for another beautiful Saturday evening. Till next time, guys.